What's up, everybody? This is the Smash Controller Podcast, episode number 10, with your hosts, Patrick, Mike, and Jose. Hey, guys, how we doing?
Doing good tonight. Doing good
Going
tonight for
on?
sure.
Yes, so it's been a
Number
long
10.
week. Yeah, number 10, actually. So that is pretty cool. We made it to 10.
Nice little
It only took
milestone
us
there.
4 years.
Yeah.
Right? 4 years to get there, but we got it.
Yeah.
But it's actually a third video episode. Am I correct?
Yeah, this will be the third one. Yep. Officially.
Okay.
For sure.
Awesome. So we got to number 10. That's double digits. So we hope to do more. That'll be awesome. So we're going to start with our normal topics. The first thing we start with is, what have we been playing?
Mm-hmm.
So I will be starting with Patrick. You go first because you played an interesting game that had a demo come out.
Yeah, so we were actually planning to stream this, but we just couldn't line things up for a couple of days. But I decided to check out
life happens.
the new Outriders demo on my own. Overall, it seems like it can be promising. Could be promising, I should say. It reminds me a lot of the gameplay style of Mass Effect and Gears of War. It's like that third
Which I'm
person.
totally cool with that.
Yeah, it's got that third person tactical shooter, vibe going on. But something about the delivery of the game just feels too much like it's trying to ride on the coattails of stuff like Gears of War and Mass Effect. Like the soundtrack is very bombastic, and it just seems very sort of contrived and kind of derivative. But all in all, it was fun what I did play. I feel like it needs to have a little bit more individuality, I guess, is what I'm looking for. But all in all, it was pretty fun.
Well, if you have a game that has inspiration from Gears of War and Mass Effect, I'm all in.
Yeah.
And I know we talk about games to be more original. It's hard these days. It's hard to make
It
games
is.
more original than it
Yeah.
is.
It seems
I
like
just
everything's
want-
been done at this point.
I just want a game that has a good story, which we have a topic we'll be talking about later on about that, because are we hungry for the single player campaigns with good story that don't last just 4 hours?
I know
So
I
we'll
am.
talk about it a little later. So let's go to Mike. What you been playing?
Well, kind of a lot. I
Yeah, we
noticed
heard
something
because
about
you had
last-
some kind of contest going on.
I did. I had a contest with my brother-in-law to see who can get to 100 platinums first. And me, I really thought I had a very comfortable lead. I was at 90. He was sitting at like 40. And I was like, this is going to be 3 months. I'm good. I snapped my fingers and turned my head sideways, and he's already up like 30 platinums. I'm like, dude, whoa, okay, calm down. Well, this is a little fast. All right. So I kind of had to pick up the pace a little bit. So in my brain, I thought about it. I was like, do I want to buy this man a $300 plate steak dinner? Or do I want to just go ahead and get some $40 platinums? Done with it. So I did that. I got some good platinums. I got some easy platinums. I worked very hard for them into the wee hours of the night. But yeah, I got it. I beat him. He wasn't too happy when he saw me today, but y'all can't be winners like Mike.
You let him go hungry there, though. he was going to get a steak dinner, and now he's begging for change on the corner.
Oh, he's
We
still
have
going
to
to
put
get a
this
steak
perspective,
dinner.
though. I mean, 100 platinums, that's a lot. I have barely 30.
Yeah.
I can't believe you have 100
I have
platinums.
I know.
Yeah, that's a lot of games. So what kind of games you been playing to get those like last 10 platinums?
Well, some very, very, very indie titles. Okay, we got games like Hero in the Garden, Terra Blanc, Full Moon, Gun Crazy Blind Men, Tower of Dragon Asia, some memory games. Chickens on the Road, really good one. Road Bustle, which is a modern day Frogger. Oh yeah, and then of course I didn't realize this, but My Name Is Mayo 2 came out.
Oh,
Clicked
more
another
clicking.
10,000 buttons to
I
get a
remember
platinum.
that. I remember
Wow.
that game. It's like the easiest platinum.
10,000 clicks, baby.
But I don't even have that platinum. So now you got me
You gotta
He
go
ideas.
didn't want
get
to
it.
Maybe I can
dedicate
cheat
the
for
time or
40.
energy to getting that worthless platinum.
No.
Kicking.
Yeah, my
No,
platinum
that's what I've been
days are
playing.
not over. They're not over. I do like to play games and get some platinums, but I've been really into achievements. I don't know why. I mean, I do think
Yeah,
platinums are better, just overall. But for some
look
reason, I've
cool.
been into achievements. I'm more of an Xbox guy at the end of the day.
Right.
Honestly,
All
with
right.
with uh
Mm-hmm.
with real quick, with all the
Mm-hmm.
cheap platinums away, I did start playing
Mm-hmm.
Control, and Patrick, I
There
thank
you
you
go.
for getting me onto
A
that.
I've
real
been
game.
trying to get you
It's
all on that one.
45 minutes into this thing, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
hooked. It is fantastic.
Yeah,
The
it's a great
visuals are
game.
great. Oh, I'm loving it. So I
Yeah.
can't wait to finish this podcast so I can get back out there and keep in control.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's an awesome game. No spoilers. We're not going to spoil it for you and everything, but you're going to love the game. The story's awesome. At least I liked it.
Yeah.
It had a lot of ties to other games that you enjoyed or hoped you played in the past. All right, with me. So I've been playing a couple of games. One game I've been playing, which I will show you right now. I actually got some pickups, but I'll give you the game I'm playing a lot lately. So I actually bought Star Wars Pinball for the Switch, and I've been on this pinball kick.
Hey,
It is
pinball is
awesome.
fun, man.
Yeah, pinball is fun, and it's one of those games where you're not playing a story. You're just trying to beat the high score. And
Just for
I've been in
fun.
this huge kick of beating high scores. So I have a couple of cabinets, and obviously, I play them a lot for the high score. And I have this one cabinet it's called Legends Ultimate cabinet, which I just picked up recently this week, and it has online scores, leaderboards. So you play arcade
Cool.
games and actually post your scores online, and it's pretty cool because instead of having this like you write down or you tell your friends, "Hey, I got 79 million points." You post it on board, and
They can actually
everybody
see
who
it.
plays there, yeah, and it's actually there. So it's like you're going to an arcade
That's
and
awesome.
actually seeing JJP on there. So it's really
Really
cool. I'm
cool.
really excited about that. So I've been playing a lot of arcade games. So it can be like Pac-Man, Bad Dudes, hmm,
Man, classic.
just arcade. Yeah, just a bunch of arcade. I can't remember. There's just a bunch of games right there, stuff like that. But I got some pickups, which I will be playing this week. Which one is? And by the way, it is the 35th anniversary of Mario, games. So
Wow.
today, showing some good pickups. So if you are interested in any
Wow.
Mario games, actually, there's some good deals in Target, Walmart, Amazon, Best Buy. They're actually doing 35% off Mario games, certain Mario games. So like, and I saw I had these games, and then I look in my collection, which I have a big Switch collection. I don't have these games. I had to pick them up today.
Oh
First
wow.
one is Super Mario Party, which I am a big fan of Mario Party from the past, like Wii, Nintendo 64, GameCube. Me and my kids love to play that game, so I'm excited to break this open and play that one. Another one here, which I seriously thought I had this game, but I did not. Mario and Sonic Olympic Games. It's a very fun game to play
Oh,
with your friends. It's button mashing, but it's awesome. So I love these games. I love the crossovers that they do with Sonic and Mario and all these Olympic games. And then I picked up Super Mario Maker, another game I thought I had. I swear I thought I had these games. There's somebody stealing my games or something going on.
No, you just buy
But I
too
bought this
many.
one too. Yep, Super Mario Maker 2, which is the first one was awesome. Was
Yeah.
really good. Making your own levels. Some of these levels that people make are insane.
Oh yeah.
But
I've
it's
seen
awesome.
those.
Cool community to play, and it has a lot of great games here. So if you love Mario, that would be a great pickup. And then one that I heard that I played the game before this on the DS, yeah, on the 3DS, is Bravely Default 2, and they're a really awesome Square Enix game. The first one was awesome. Bravely Second was really good, but this one, the Bravely Default 2, it got great reviews. I'm excited to break this open and play it there because I like to play role playing games while I'm in bed. I think it's a good
Yeah,
play.
good chill stuff.
Yes. So if I'm chilling in bed or on a couch, I love playing games like this. I really can't play role playing games on my TV screen anymore. It's just kind of, I don't know, just a different vibe. But
Yeah.
playing this, yeah, but playing this before I go to bed, kind of dedicate like an hour or an hour and a half to it. It's a great way to play. It's a slow burn, You
Yeah.
gain a cool story,
It's kind of like
great
reading
art.
an interactive book.
Yeah, exactly. People
Yeah.
read before they go to bed. Instead of me reading, I just play this
Play the
and
game.
I just kind of dedicate an hour a day to it. Keep my headphones on, and it's awesome. It had great art. I just love these games, and
Yeah, those
having games like
JRPGs are
this,
great.
yeah, having games like this quality on a Switch or on a handheld is awesome. I think you don't know what kind of age we're in right now because we couldn't do that back in the 90s.
Oh no.
Well, you could do a little bit. There's some Final Fantasy games
They were
on the
terrible.
Game Boy.
They were
Yeah, but
terrible.
they're terrible.
They were really
Exactly.
bad
Yep.
in
Yeah,
comparison.
they're very bad. But this is gonna be awesome. Otherwise, that's all I've been playing. So I can't wait for next week, and I can tell you guys how these games were and give my little mini review on those titles.
Excellent, excellent.
So there we go. That's what we've been playing this week. So we're to get into some news. So 1 week passed, and I think on Friday it broke, and they just announced. Well, what was it? I can't remember what was that broke. What
The
news?
agency.
Yeah, but everybody was talking about it. So the breaking news
Everybody's got it
is
now.
there
So
is a rumored new Nintendo Switch, which everybody's calling it the Switch Pro, and which everybody was excited about. Like, oh my god, it's gonna be a Switch Pro, just like the PlayStation Pro or the Xbox, One X. Just upgrade everything to a better, standard and get closer to what we are doing now.
Yeah.
Well, bad news yesterday that broke was that this Switch will probably have its own games. So Switch Pro exclusive games. So guys, what do you think about that? Because if you do that, you're going to alienate the whatever millions of people who bought into your Switch and Switch Lite, and now you're telling them that to order to play Breath of the Wild 2. I'm just speculating. I don't know if
Yeah,
that
yeah.
game will be like that, but let's say Breath of the Wild 2 only on a Switch Pro.
Yeah.
honestly, if I may chime in, I don't have a Switch. So this is actually really cool for me because I can go ahead and get the Pro and be able to do
Mhm.
everything I need to do. But are you talking about people that have the Switch already and are like all up in arms?
Mhm.
It's kind of like with me having a PS4 and not having a PS5 and not being able to play those really fancy PS5 games. So it's kind of like, hey, if you want to play them, you got to get the system. That's just the way the cookie crumbles in this market.
Yeah, but the PS5 is a whole different console. So are we saying that the Switch Pro is basically the new console generation for Nintendo?
A lot of people are saying that it is going to be a new console because it's so different of what they want to do with it. The docking setups,
Because
the bigger screen.
Yeah, but they still say it's only going to be 720 and handheld 4K on the dock.
yeah, it's gonna
So
be a 7-inch screen,
it's a bigger
OLED
screen.
screen. Yep,
Yeah.
720, which is okay for a small screen. I mean, the pixel density and everything is
Yeah.
fine. That can be a big difference. But when you dock, it's gonna be 4K, which I think is cool. But then again, PlayStation, it probably lasted what 13? No, like 10 years, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
PlayStation
It was
4,
a while.
Xbox One, too. It's only the Switch been out for 4 years. And yes, they do need a revision, but just like the PlayStation did, they put a Pro on there, so they still made games to you can play on your regular PlayStation. And to this day, right now, people still have the regular PlayStation. Okay, they don't even have the Pro yet,
Yeah.
but they can still play those games. Now you saw how Cyberpunk played those in the older PlayStations, right? So I see that, but I just hope Nintendo doesn't kind of double dip on people. Say like, well, if you want to, play this game, you got to get a different kind of format or something like that. And I hope they don't do that because, and I hope they play the games we have now, which obviously we know nothing about this.
Yeah,
The,
this
the,
is
the
all
rumors are,
speculative ultimately.
yeah, the rumors
Yes.
are that the new Switch Pro is supposed to be coming out in 2021, so it'll be here within the holiday season,
Yeah.
which to me is
Which you
like
won't be
it's
able to get, of
crazy.
course.
Oh well,
You won't be able to
that's the
find
thing
it
too.
anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we can't even like sniff at a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, and we're talking about a Switch Pro right now that
Yeah.
nobody's gonna get.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna work out, but then again, Well, I hope Nintendo figures it out because if they do release a Legend, a Zelda, I'll just call it Zelda 2 because I'm not going to say Legend, Breath of the Wild 2, a Zelda 2. These scalpers are going to get it. Who's going to play the game? I mean, I don't know. It's just going to be very difficult. But regardless,
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it because let's say scalpers do buy up all the Nintendo games, or they get most of it, and I can't get a new Nintendo Switch, and they release Breath of the Wild 2. How am I going to play that game?
Yeah, because they
You
won't
know?
have and again, only speculative, but they may
Yeah,
not have, the lower edition, version of the game for the regular Switch, and it's only a Switch Pro
exactly.
exclusive. Yeah, and funny enough, I kind of touched on that, I believe, on our last podcast, where I was
Hmm.
like, it's about time for them to come out with a uh, y- new generation of their console and not just
Hmm.
stick with the Switch and keep developing on the Switch, but to really push forward to a new generation because that's where everyone is going now, and that
Yes.
it's time for that. So it's almost sounding like we're kind of getting that sort of. Uh, yeah, hopefully it's not going to be a situation where we're just pigeonholed into having you have to have a Switch Pro in order to play the new Zelda or the new Mario games or anything like that. It would be nice if they had a downgraded version for a regular Switch,
Hmm.
or if the Switch Pro was just, that much better and prettier looking like the PS Pro is, with more power,
Yeah.
processing power, and higher quality and all of that. But I guess it remains to be seen.
Yeah. And I think the biggest issue is you have over. I think Nintendo Switch sold over 50, 60 million Switches. You can tell everybody there they have to go buy another Switch
Yeah.
to
And
play
it
the new
doesn't
Breath of the
feel that
Wild.
old, you know?
No, it's only 4 years old, but I
Yeah.
think it's the Nintendo's fault for being so behind
Yeah.
in the beginning.
And they haven't really released all that much stuff for it.
Hmm.
There's a few big titles for it, but all in
Yeah.
all, the Switch doesn't really have all that much content, in my
No, everything
opinion.
is rehashed from the Wii U.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the HD version. It's the like the Wind Waker HD for
Yeah.
yeah.
And the Breath of the Wild actually came out on the Wii U. So it's actually a port. And then you got games like this is actually an original game. Just came out brand new. This won a few times. But then when I'm pointing out these games right here, that came out on Wii U, and that is an issue.
Right.
So again, we'll see when it happens. We don't know. It's all speculative. It could be 2022 when it comes out. I think more people are hoping it comes out later than now because you're still selling a lot of Switches now. And then you're gonna think about, well, do we really need can we just wait? But then you wait, you might not get one because if this whole scalper situation gets worse, I
Or not
mean,
better.
yeah,
Or even just not better, yeah.
we just talked about, I think about 5 episodes ago or something like that, of when we thought these systems would be available for us. Like we can go to a store and get it. We said about this time. It's still not even close to that.
No.
I predicted, oh, probably March, April, it'll be fine. We can walk into Target and get one.
It's been
Nope,
5
it's not even
months.
close to that. And I'm still struggling to even get one. And when I go on and I follow some of the Twitter feeds, and they say, "Hey, go now to Walmart at 3 o'clock. They're going to release a bunch of systems." And I go there, it's gone already.
Instantly
I can't even do
crashes.
anything.
Yep.
It's in my cart, and it says not on my cart. It says it's sold out. It's the same BS I got to deal with every single time. So I don't even know. And this is for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. So the Switch to me at this point is more popular, and it's just not gonna. It's just not
Yeah.
gonna last. It's not gonna last.
The original Switch sold out for a while. You couldn't find that
Yeah.
for months and months and months. So you combine that with the recent atmosphere in video game console purchasing, and
Hmm.
we may not see that for a while.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you remember, but during the heart of the pandemic, when we were all closed down, you couldn't find a Switch anywhere.
Yeah.
That's all people were buying
Yeah.
to basically keep their kids busy or
Occupied. Yeah.
themselves busy. It was hard to find. And I remember on the Switch consoles on eBay were really high. Like Switch Lights were like $400, $500. The regular Switch was like $600, $700. I thought twice I was going to sell mine just to get some extra cash in there. So, all right, next news. So on Friday, Major Nelson did hint that on Monday uh, they're going to announce a big surprise, and everybody's speculating. Basically, they're going to confirm the Bethesda, you know, like final sale. So we all know they did it. We all know they're buying it.
Yeah.
Everything is good, but now this is going to be like
The official
the
nail in the
the
coffin.
official, yeah, the official nail in the coffin that Bethesda's been bought by Microsoft. It'll bring all the new gamer tears from everybody and stuff like that, saying, "Oh my God, it's real and everything," which we know is real. But now it's going to be official. And he said that he can have guests, which I'm guessing is going to be Phil Spencer and maybe Todd Howard from Bethesda, and just talk about it. Who knows? It could be anything, but that's what it's leading towards to the official acquisition for Bethesda. So that being said, we did talk about this in the past. Talking about what we think about it and what the effects. But what do you think? I mean, in your opinion, what the effects going to happen? When Bethesda it's really just all Microsoft property. And from what Phil Spencer talked about, he said that they will still try to have these games on different platforms. But in reality, do you really want to do that?
Yeah, not when you're holding an exclusive,
Mm-hmm.
contract with that company. For Microsoft, I mean, I don't know. On a business sense, that could definitely go either way because if
Mm-hmm.
they allow it to open up to the other systems, then that just means more potential for consumers to purchase the products that they now make money off of. And Microsoft loves making money, so I could definitely
Yep.
see them doing that. However, I also know that Microsoft doesn't really like to play directly with other developers and other
Mm-hmm.
manufacturers. So I could also see them just eventually moving purely exclusive. But I don't know because some of these titles, like the Elder Scrolls and Fallout and
Mm-hmm.
Doom, they are such big titles
Yeah.
that they'd be alienating a whole lot of people if they only made that available on Xbox and PC, you know?
I mean, you have games like Dishonored, Prey, The Evil Within, Deathloop, which is already slated to be on the PS3. I mean, the PS5 as well. So that's already been contracted out. But a big game called Starfield, which is basically a Fallout Skyrim space version. And that's going to be a very big game for Bethesda. And so far, that might be an Xbox exclusive from what we've been hearing. Yeah, Wolfenstein, all those games, Rage 2, Doom, like you just said, Dishonored 1 and 2. There's tons of games that Bethesda, and ID and ZeniMax, I mean, they produce. And as far as I know, being an Xbox fan is great for me. I mean, I really, it's not, it doesn't bother me at all. But I do have a PlayStation, and I do like playing both consoles. I'm not all about a fanboy of one system. I like all systems. Whatever
Yeah,
is fun, I'll play it.
absolutely.
Oh yeah, but I do go towards
You
Xbox just
find
because
yourself
my
gravitating to
yeah
that
I
more.
play Xbox a lot more. But yeah, uh, Mike. So what do you think? You think it's gonna hurt the industry if Xbox keep all their titles to themselves?
Oh, um, oh, if I'm wrong, but I kind of look at this as a situation when Disney bought out Marvel. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Marvel has gotten much better with a bunch of offshoot shows, a lot of popularity on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Microsoft can possibly capitalize on that by not only doing what they need to for the AAA titles, but maybe being able to throw in some side stuff here. And yes, you're still going to have your exclusivity to your Xbox people and things like that. But I think it's going to really help kind of just broaden the horizons of not only the community as a whole, but instead of just this and this and this, it's like, oh, now we can kind of tear this down and to really build this in massive ecosystem of Fallout or Doom or whatever they want to do, because now they can kind of house it in and like do these little sub things here and there. I think it's going to be
Well,
kind of
I think it's another point too. Is it makes it easier for developers to develop on one system, so you don't have to port different
Yes.
systems here too. So the game might
Absolutely.
look
On a
better.
support and development level, absolutely.
Oh yeah, it could be a lot better. So the next Fallout might not look so robotic,
Yeah, and I
you
mean,
know, and everything.
I could see them doing something where they have console exclusive games that only come out on an Xbox, but I don't think that's going to be the major titles like Doom or Elder Scrolls or
Oh
Fallout or
yeah,
anything like that. The market is just too big. But they will end up doing wholly exclusive Microsoft games that may not even be available on PC. I know a lot of
Mhm.
the Xbox games are available on PC, but I could see them doing it that way as well. That's probably the more realistic approach of what's happening.
Yeah. And at
Yeah,
the
you'll
end of the
still
day,
get
they
your
need to push consoles,
massive. Yeah, you're still
but
gonna
they
get
need
your
to push
massive,
consoles
massive
though.
like Gears of War. But yeah, like Jose said, you're gonna have to spread them out. It's like, okay, give me like the three major titles only for Xbox, but everything else I want it on all the platforms. So
Well, they have to.
that's just how
They
they're
have
gonna
to make
make
their money
money.
back.
Yeah,
You know, they have to
absolutely.
make their
Big
money
time.
back. So
So
making their
what
money
was that
back,
price
they have
tag?
to put things on Nintendo Switch. They have to put things on the PlayStation to get their money back. But they can push consoles by having console exclusive like Starfield and maybe other games, or DLC can be exclusive to just Xbox, right? So
Yeah.
you could have a Fallout 5 and then come down on all three systems and say, but the DLC for this is going to be just on Xbox. That could help push consoles.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Microsoft want to push their consoles and push Game Pass. And one good thing is, since they own Bethesda, they could put a lot of stuff on Game Pass. So
Yeah.
you
Oh,
that could
that would
be
be great.
yeah, and that'll be a console pusher as well. Or obviously Microsoft does a lot of computer stuff, so obviously they're going to push a lot of PC subscriptions. So at the end of the day, they're probably trying to hope they can push a lot of PC, the Game Pass subscriptions too. If they say you get all these Bethesda games when they come out day one, if you part of Game Pass, that will help generate
Yeah, that's
generate money
a
too.
that would be a huge draw for a lot of gamers, absolutely. Where you can just own the Bethesda games. Yeah,
Hmm.
that would be very
Entire
very very
library.
cool. Absolutely.
Almost
I
like
mean,
the
they
EA
already
hub,
have EA.
It
Yeah.
take
Yeah, yeah,
Microsoft
and
is
I have
becoming all
used
too
EA.
powerful.
And I have
I
used
mean,
the
you got
EA pass. Go ahead, Mike.
they got $7.5 billion to make up from this acquisition. So, they're gonna be making some stuff. So I don't think people need to be freaking out about losing. Most gamer nowadays is gonna have each, just
Yeah,
all three of us.
Yeah.
You got them.
I mean,
Yeah.
They're not little ones.
for gamers like us, it'll work. But you got to think about it, not everybody's like us who have all the systems or most of the
Eh,
systems, and some people are going to have to just pick one system.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Nintendo, it's going to be an Xbox, it's going to be a PlayStation, because you got to remember you got all these other countries that can't afford three systems like people in the United States or in the UK can do, or in Australia. You got other countries down like in South America that they still work on a PlayStation 2, all right, or on the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
So that that one system they're gonna spend $500 on, it gotta be the one. And if Microsoft has some good titles on them, to hey, you know what, we have Fallout 5 and we have Doom, 6 and Starfield and Dishonored 3. Oh well, I might get an Xbox, but then PlayStation combat that with like, hey, we have God of War, the new one and stuff like that. So it's gonna be
Xbox,
interesting.
Uncharted, all those.
So yeah, I'm really excited to see what the news is. Yeah, if it's something to do with Bethesda acquisition, I'll be really excited to see how that looks in the future. Because at the end of the day, guys, they're all games. It's going to be fun. I just hope that they use this to improve the games. Because right
Absolutely.
now, I can tell you right now, Fallout 76 sucks. Right? And I hope they improve on that. And
Agreed.
if yep, and if they ever release a Fallout 5, I hope it's good because I'm a big fan of the Fallout series,
Yeah.
like a huge fan.
Hopefully they put more work into it than
Big
they
fan.
seem to have done on the last couple of releases. I'm
Hmm.
still I still love Fallout New Vegas. That's still one of my favorites.
Oh, that's a great game.
Yeah,
It's a really good
that's my
game.
favorite too.
I mean
Um,
that's actually a
Absolute favorite Fallout
very
game.
very controversial thing to say, because a lot of people will tell you that, oh no, it's all about Fallout 3, and New Vegas is kind of is controversial. From my understanding, a lot of people really have an issue with that game for some reason. But
I love Fallout 3. I remember that game, and I completed all the DLCs, and I think the only game that completed every achievement from all DLCs and all the games. I love it. Fallout, New Vegas just expanded on that universe, and I loved it. So I'm a big fan of Fallout New Vegas. All right,
Dumped in
so
over 200 hours into that.
I remember you playing that for that long.
that's all I did was play that. I love that game so much. All right, so let's talk about another game coming out this summer, but it's not a new game per se. It is actually an older title getting remastered. But I just found out today, which I think is a
Crazy
highway
news.
robbery.
Yeah, absolutely.
So today, Mike, he actually told us that the Mass Effect Legendary pre-order has
Was
been
live.
was live, and he told me, "Oh, it comes with the helmet." And I just went, you know what? I'm buying it. He said $150. I'm like, oh, I'm definitely buying it. You telling me I can get a helmet and a game and maybe some cool stuff and I don't know, soundtrack and all that kind of sort of stuff for $150? And it's a remastered Mass Effect, one of my favorite games.
That's almost too good to be true. That is
true.
almost too good to be true.
So, Michael, can you go down the list of what it includes?
I sure can.
Do you have that up?
I got it right here. So basically, here's what you get for $150. You get the wearable, depending on the size of your cranium. It won't fit mine, but you get the wearable N7 helmet. You get the steel bookcase to put the game into. You get a sweet piece of canvas art, a N7 acceptance letter, and some morality spinner pins. No game. Game.
Wait a minute, wait. Can you repeat that? You said no game. So you're telling me I'm paying $150 for a helmet?
And a case.
$150 for a helmet, a case, and some pens. And a piece of paper that says, welcome to the N7 Club.
And no
now you got to
game.
pay $60,
so you're
$70 to get yourself a game.
You'll end up paying $220 when all is said and done to get this. And does this...
And
wait a second.
We just talked about these pre-orders, too, like not too long ago.
So they don't
must have been listening and sucking us in.
Wow, and I wonder if they're going to end up releasing any sort of add-on content for it in addition to what they used to have, or if it's just going to be the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's no add-on content. What about a soundtrack? Something like that. I mean, give me a download
something
code.
Tangible. Well, I guess physical objects are tangible. The helmet is pretty cool, though. Don't get me wrong.
No, I get
the helmet lights up. It looks legit. So that almost alone is worth the money.
$150, I'll be wearing a helmet at Walmart.
But it's absolutely a slap in the face to any consumer that they're not getting the game with that. And I bet you many, many people will order that and they will not see that included, that detail, and they will get it and they'll start complaining that they didn't get a game with it. And they'll be like, well, if you looked, it said that there was no game included. And there was some other company that did this a while ago, and I brought this up in another podcast. I think it was Dying Light, and they released this really high-priced special edition of the game where you could audition to be in the movie and you get acting lessons and be flying to location and all of that. Yep. And you would buy it was, I don't know, $1 million or something ridiculous like that, and you would get it, but it did not come with the game. So you would buy this whole thing, this whole collector's edition with you get all this extra stuff, and then you go and you get to be in the movie and get acting lessons and stunt stuff and all of that, but no game. So you just pay for the privilege to be in a movie, but you don't even get the product that you're supporting. It is absolutely a slap in the face, and it's such a ridiculous oversight. Like, did they do that just to keep it lower in price, or I don't understand the logic in it. They could have just made it $210 and included the game. Like, why not?
Yeah,
why
exactly.
make people make two purchases?
It doesn't make sense because you could put the game in the steel book and ship the whole thing in a package. It's not a big deal.
Or $210
disc,
or $220.
I mean,
yeah, just sell it at
here
cost.
Is the crazy thing. People are buying it. I mean, it's sold out from what I can see on Best Buy. It's sold out on GameStop. You can, if you want it today and you want to pre-order it, you can go to the BioWare website and you can actually get yourself for the first 7 days. I think you got like 4 days left. $25 discount. So it's $125 instead of. It's kind of cool.
Well, people who are buying it are really big fans of Mass Effect, like we are. And I will love the helmet, but I have enough helmets already around my house. I got Star Wars helmets, I got Halo helmets, I have Killzone helmets, and they're cool. But I do love me some Mass Effect, and I think that N7 helmet is a maybe a need, but not having a game after you're spending that much money, because it's gonna make me really sad when I get that helmet, if I do get that helmet, and it's not $150 worth. It
Right.
has lights.
Very cheap.
It lights up. It's plastic. I mean, the Stormtrooper helmet that I got from Star Wars Black Series from Hasbro, which is pretty good, was $100. And
But
yeah, it's
it's
$100.
legit.
It's nice. It's actually you can put it in your head. You can turn on the voice changer, and you sound like slightly like a stormtrooper. But it's cool. It stands there and looks awesome, and I love it because Star Wars and stormtroopers go way back. I love that whole lore and stuff like that. So I had to buy it, and it looks cool. Every time I look at it, I'm like, oh my god, I have a stormtrooper helmet. That's pretty cool. But the N7 150, because really you're paying $150 for the helmet. You're not really paying anything different. Because
No.
the piece of paper, come on.
Yeah, that's
And what
that's
else?
worth nothing.
A cloth? What cloth of what? To clean it?
Yeah.
No, it's like a canvas. It's got the
Well, there's 2 canvas
gosh.
prints for it.
Normandy on the back of it.
Yeah.
One's got the Normandy, and it doesn't show what the other one's got.
This thing does. It's gonna go down to the wire, and I'm probably gonna get it anyway. And then
Of course you will.
You're gonna
What's
buy
happen
it.
is when I get it,
It's like
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
wear
buy
it. I'm gonna wear it to the whole
Oh, the
episode.
the other canvas art print. So
Nice.
one is the Normandy, and the other one is Commander Shepard. And it looks like on this one it's the female Shepard. I would assume on the other side it's the male Shepard, and there may be something on the other side of the Normandy one. And then you get a spinnable morality pin where you can spin
Oh my
it based
God.
on if you're a Paragon or a Renegade, and your super
I
cool
think-
box for everything. Yeah.
I think when Mike said the spinner, I thought it was made like a fidget spinner, and I was like, "What?" I was
No,
what
it
are
looks
we
like a
getting now?
flippable pin that you wear.
Oh my god!
Like you just go whoop. Yeah, it's not a fidget
And,
spinner.
and then the helmet
Yeah.
lights change colors, right?
Yeah, they'll change between red and blue for the same reason the Paragon Renegade thing. I mean,
oh my goodness!
if
Like I
the
said,
if the
I'll get
helmet
it.
if the
Except
helmet
if
is
I get
quality,
it-
it's almost worth
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah, if I get it, I'm gonna wear it to the whole podcast. The whole time. I'm gonna wear it the whole time
it'd
because
be
I'm
great
gonna
to do
make
the
it worth it.
podcast where all 3 of us are wearing the helmet the whole time.
And the kicker is we all spent $150 with no game.
So
Like,
how's
we didn't get the game,
how's
by
the
the way.
remaster game? I wouldn't know. I spent all my money getting the helmet. What game? It was a game coming out? I thought this was just a collector's set for the old game.
Yeah, and we talked about this before. It's just it's crazy how these
Just money hungry.
the orders. No, I mean the legendary collector's editions just hook you in, and they get you. And this one might get me. So I don't know. I'll think about it. You say I have 4 days left.
Yeah, for the $25 discount. Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. I'll probably have like
Well, we
nightmares
will
about it. I
see.
have
We
to
will
do
see you ordering it probably by the end
Yes.
of the night.
it. So
Ordering mine
by
tonight,
next
so.
episode, I'll let you guys know if I got it or not. I'm probably gonna get it. So it's
I
gonna
look
happen.
forward to seeing it.
Because, yeah, because it's gonna look cool on my mantle here with next to my Stormtrooper helmet.
Yeah, that's great,
I mean-
man. Two of the best sci-fi. I know a lot of people will say you can't compare the two, but 2 of the best sci-fi
Yes, you can.
stories.
I
Excellent.
do believe that.
Yeah.
I do believe that. All right, so there we go. We nailed that in the coffin. So are we getting or we're not getting the helmet that's worth $150?
To be
so
determined.
So far, I'm leaning toward yes because I'm just crazy like that, and I'm just wasting my money on
Begrudgingly.
stuff. Yep. But I bet. But the truth be told, you're right. If I get the helmet, it's gonna look awesome. It's gonna be look cool. It's gonna be a centerpiece. People gonna talk about it and they come in like, oh, what is that? It's like, oh, do you know Mass Effect? Like, do you Mass Effect, bro?
Yeah,
Well,
do
let
you
me
Obviously you
not
show
know.
know
you.
Shepard? You don't Shep. You don't Shep, bro.
All right. So, next topic we're gonna talk about is big thing happening these days, which I am very sad about because I'm a big fan of first person shooters, FPS games,
Absolutely.
and reason why I'm a big fan of those is because a lot of those FPS games back in the day had a awesome single player story.
And that
To
was the center point of the game was the single
yes.
player experience.
Now everything is toward multiplayer, and I get it. You make more money on multiplayer, you get more people on it and everything, but it's downgrading, or at least in my opinion, it's downgrading the single player experience. For example, Call of Duty, the new
Right.
one. I think the single player was too short and it sucked.
Right.
But most of the installation base for that game is all multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, I played multiplayer for like literally like probably 20 minutes.
Right.
I got shot many times. I was tired of it. I said, no, that's cool.
Yeah. It
But
gets to be too much.
you got games like Fear back in the day was a great first person shooter. Half Life 2, great
Half Life
single
and Half
player.
Life 2. Half
Yes,
Life 2 is still
you,
one of the best first person shooter games of all
oh,
time.
by far.
One of
I
the
mean,
best
it's
games of all time.
yes, by far. You got Fallout, you got Doom, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim. All those are first person, FPS kind of games. Halo, and
Yeah.
you're telling and so I'll say this with Halo, the new one's going to go towards kind of a online multiplayer, right? So they're kind of going away from these single player stories, and I'm kind of sad about it because now when I buy games, everything is just it's just very lackluster right now. And so, what's your opinion on what is the future? Because you got games like Fortnite, which is not first person, person shooter, but you got Fortnite, you got PUBG. Everything is going toward that multiplayer side, which is fun. It's fine, but I haven't seen anything really going toward it. Which I'm hoping Outriders become that. But I'm not sure what Outriders is totally about. Though, to be honest with
Well, Outriders unfortunately is following more of the from everything I gather is kind of more of the
you.
Destiny framework, where it's really more of a cooperative RPG style
Mm-hmm.
loot shooter, very much in that Destiny vein. And in a lot of ways, stylistically, the game looks a lot like Destiny as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's going to be one of those games where you can kind of do either or.
Yeah.
Kind of like where it's, I don't know. Destiny was fun to play single player, but it was definitely one of those games that was more enjoyable to play with your friends for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as something that just needs to have like that really solid single player experience, I would love to see us go back to more of that, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I really see that happening anytime soon. There's
I
just
mean, the games you had in the past were like Bioshock. It's a great series.
oh wonderful,
Yes.
absolutely fantastic series,
Yeah, and that's a great series there.
great
You have
vibe.
yeah, but then you have games like Overwatch, which, again, a lot of people have a lot of fun with it. I
Oh, I
did
love
have fun for a
Overwatch.
little bit,
Right.
but again, there's no story to it. It's just basically a game you play through.
Yeah, but
You know.
there's I don't know, to me that game has a lot of depth in it for a competitive multiplayer shooting game because there's so much class dependency and builds of your teams and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of variables that play into it. It's not just like, oh, you have an assault class and a medic class and the sniper class and you just have four classes.
Yeah.
I'm just going based off of old like Battlefield and
Mm-hmm.
all of that.
But listen to this though. So I looked up, check the top first-person shooter games of 2020. Okay, Apex Legends. Okay, you almost,
Yeah, of
that's
course.
there you go, multiplayer there. Call of Duty
Battle
Warzone.
Royale.
There you go, Battle Royale. Counter Strike. Well, I mean, there you go.
Counter Strike is still big, which
Um,
blows my mind. It's been out for
yep.
so long.
Yeah, Overwatch. You have Left 4 Dead 2. So in here you got Doom Eternal, which is a few games there, and then you have said Escape from Tarkov. Oh, then you have Metro. That's a great game. That's a great story. Actually a really good game. If you want a good first person,
I've still been meaning to play
story,
through that.
yeah, it's awesome. And then you Far Cry. Those games are awesome. They're one of the best first, FPS games. But we need more games like that. And that's why right now I'm just going to different, I'm playing a lot of Mario games, a lot of arcade games because I'm a huge first person shooter fan and I played all the games.
Yeah.
And I guess they're trying to get replayability. I see that point.
Well,
Because once you beat a game,
That's all it is. Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
here's the
you're
thing
done.
about that though. Those multiplayer experiences though, they put an absolute shelf life on the game because I can go back and play, even though I decimated the game, I can go back and play Dragon Age Origins or Dragon Age Inquisition or any of the Mass Effect games like we're going to do. And even if you've gone through the story, it's still an enjoyable single player experience.
yeah.
But you're not reliant on that game still being relevant to go back and play it because you can just load it up on your system at your whim and play it. If I want to go online right now and play Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, as soon as a new Call of Duty game comes out, the last one loses all of its fan base. It just starts dwindling off, and eventually the online servers die and they get shut down. And then what do you have? You paid $60 for a game. They gave you a limited, shelf life. And then the single player experience is a 6-hour campaign. So there's nothing to go back to at that point. There's no depth to the game. It's a great single or multiplayer experience. And I agree, even stuff like Overwatch absolutely falls into this category. But that game has been going strong for a while. And they're actually coming out with a new Overwatch, and I'm sure that'll replace that. But I still stick by that point, even though I love Overwatch. It's just, it really does put a shelf life on the overall experience of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean you're right. I do agree with that. They do get more money out of it too with like loot boxes.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I think that's
the
their
big
big
thing.
draw now is they can do the loot box and all of the currency stuff for these games. They can really get into your pockets for
They're
extended
trying to
periods
get money
of time
out
with
of
that.
everybody, and I get it because if you play Doom, the first one, and you beat it, you're done with it. You don't really go back. There's not really any kind of replayability in those games.
Yeah. But
You
what
have
blows my mind though is all these loot packs and loot boxes and loot crates and all the loot things in pretty much every game. I mean, Battlegrounds decided that they were going to do this. Was it Battlegrounds? Is my brain just having a complete meltdown? What was the Star Wars game? It was Battlefront. I'm sorry.
Battlefront.
Yeah,
Yes.
so Battlefront would let you actually purchase weapons, and that was absolutely the worst thing they could have done. But what I was getting at is these loot boxes, all they have is cosmetic stuff. So but it taps into that, into people like Mike that need to collect things and get achievements and get everything for whatever character they love. And I'm the same way. And when I play Overwatch, I main one character and I try to get everything for that character. And I have almost everything for that character. And I will play it again when they release something new for that character so that I can get it. It is this weird sort of addictive thing. But that is really what they're hinging on, is that ability to continuously push, even if it's just cosmetic stuff. People will see it and they'll be like, oh, I have to have it. I will pay $10 just to get the loot box for that. Or I'll keep gambling and paying for these loot boxes and hopefully it drops and I'll play the game at the same time. And they add to the longevity there. But that really is kind of that's not really doing anything for it ultimately. I mean, it keeps something to obtain, but does it really do anything for the game itself? I don't know.
I think a lot of people now are very competitive. They just like playing with their friends.
Yeah.
It's just more fun and talking a lot of junk and smack online. I think we're old because
We're boomers.
we grew up
Yep.
on stories.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Yep. Spoiled by
I had to say
stories.
it, yeah, I mean Final Fantasy. You got Resident Evil, Tomb Raider, and let's just expand it more. Let's expand to like third, person games
Yeah.
like Mass Effect, Uncharted. What's more games?
Yeah.
God of
Gears of
War.
War.
That's not really. Yeah, it's not really. Oh, yeah, it's third person. God of War.
That's third person, yeah.
Yeah.
Gears
What
of
are other
War.
games? What's that?
Gears of War.
Gears of War.
Gears of War, Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah,
All those games are awesome,
yeah,
and I'm just hoping that doesn't go away because that's what I enjoy. To me, a game is like a book or a movie. It's like you
yeah,
enjoy it for like 30
Yeah.
or 40 hours. I guess what I get out of it.
yeah. I
I'm
want
just not
something,
into yeah.
something
Like I don't
immersive.
mind playing multiplayer for a few times. I don't mind it's available to people to play, but I hope they don't focus all on multiplayer to really downgrade your single player experience.
Yeah,
And that's my main thing that I'm worried about.
That's
I hate being forced to play with
really
people if I
hope
don't want
if
to.
Mhm.
Honestly,
right. And I would love. I know this is a this probably would never happen, but I wish that they would make like your Apex Legends and your Fortnites and just let that go to the kids that want to play that kind of game. But
Mhm.
you know, put the senior guys, at the company. Give them the older games. Give them the story driven, the ones that are going to be your 60, 70, 80 hour games.
yeah,
They
but
can, play for the old heads and let the new rookie guys let them play the battle royale
but
games and
I mean,
let
that's what
them build
that's
it mainly
those.
goes to a younger crowd anyway.
exactly that's what I was
you
getting
know?
at. I mean,
Yeah.
that's development time and manpower and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a long time to make a really fully fleshed out story driven
Mhm.
game
It
that's a
does take a
high
lot of money.
quality, right?
Yes.
But it doesn't take a whole lot of time to make a battle royale game that
Small
could just
Sam.
be
Yep.
the next viral thing like Fortnite or Player Unknown Battlegrounds, and just do incremental updates. Like they still do that on Fortnite. I haven't played
Mhm.
I played Fortnite when it first came out and I loved it, and then as soon as it started getting big, I think I talked about this before, I got away
Mhm.
from it. But they will just every couple of patches or every big patch, they'll actually change up the map, and they'll add like a new area and take away another area and add different weapons, and they constantly, just incrementally update it, and it keeps people invested in it.
Mhm.
So that's going to be the big money maker for the developers. Unfortunately, that's like their easy win.
It's easy money. And I imagine it's not that hard to develop. Now, I'm not a developer
Yeah,
to get small sandbox games. It's not like developing a Grand Theft Auto game where you have
yeah,
to. It is a sandbox, but it is a huge sandbox, and it is
with
a
tons of
huge
content.
story,
Yeah, tons of
tons of
content.
context. So yeah, it takes years to do. Fortnite, they release a season 6 patch, whatever,
Yeah,
every 6 months or whatever. I'm not sure. I haven't played that game since it first came out.
yeah.
And again, it's fun for the time being, but I want to engross myself in the stories. I don't want to hear a 13-year-old kid yelling at me and calling me all these names.
You're gonna hear,
And
yeah.
yeah, I
Any
just want to
multiplayer game.
chill. That's why I am enjoying like Assassin's Creed. It's like I can sit there, play at my own pace.
Yep.
I'm not going against anybody. I'm just playing the game, the story, and I hope they don't divert. That's why I'm excited for games like the new Horizon Dawn. Horizon
Horizon.
Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I just hope if they say, "Oh, we're gonna put multiplayer in here," I'm like, "Oh my god, please don't do that," because now you're gonna start this,
You're
this
just gonna
trend,
start
and it's gonna
focusing on that, and then let the single player game just kind of go by the wayside.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't mind these games coming out every 4 or 5 years because they're trying to get the voice acting right, get the all the stuff right and everything. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
That's why I was really rooting for Cyberpunk because I wanted that game to work. No, I
Yeah.
really did. I wanted the game to work because I really want to engross myself
Same
in
here.
that city. And seeing other people play the game on PC or in other that when it actually worked, it looks awesome. I was like, oh, this looks pretty good. The
Yeah.
story's pretty good, but I can't deal with all the glitches, so that's why
No,
I stopped
it's
playing.
immersion breaking.
And if
100%.
they ever come out with Half-Life 3, that'll blow up the whole world, and I'll be all in. And I just hope they continue the story of Gordon Freeman,
Yeah.
and keep going.
Get us away from that
Um,
cliffhanger.
yes, I mean I'm very sad that I don't have a VR that can play the Steam. What's that one? Uh,
Alex.
yes,
Half-Life Alex. Yeah.
yeah. Even though it's not really three, it's just basically part two in a
But
different.
it's something. It's new content.
I know it's something, right?
Yeah. It's a
But yeah,
more something more than what they've done in years, which is nothing.
yeah.
They come out with all the Left 4 Dead games and then all the Portal games, and then just focus on Steam, and lo and behold, all of us Half-Life
Portal,
fans just
great game right there.
yeah, Portal was
Perfect
great.
game right there. Portal is a really, really good game. So if all you kids never played a single player game, play Portal. You'll like it a lot.
Yeah, it's very fun. Good problem solving stuff, and very funny.
Yes.
Could be very confused.
You very what?
Confused.
Confused.
Very confused.
Now
There you
there is
go.
one game that is multiplayer but does it right. Well, there's many games, but there's one game that comes to mind: Gears of War,
Yeah,
because you can play with a friend,
co-op.
but getting engrossed in a story.
Yeah, co-op would be
That's
great
awesome.
too.
Yeah, co-op stories are good
But
because
but
that's
that's
still
but that's still centered on a campaign, which is
yeah,
really
exactly.
what you want. So you can have
Yeah.
some competitive multiplayer, Locust
Hmm.
against the Gears, and then having the ability to just have a really good immersive story and have
Hmm.
the option to join in with your friends on that story and experience it at the same time and really be able to work through problems together. I mean that's nice. I mean that is very fun.
Hmm.
It's bonding and all of that, especially in this day and age when
Big
not
time.
all of us get to hang out all the time. We all live in different areas or we're isolated or quarantined or whatever. We're just busy. And, especially once you start getting older and you don't really have time to just go and hang out at your friend's house all the time. And you get those moments where, man, it would really be nice for us to be able to play something for an hour when we actually have
Yeah.
that hour. And it's like, what do we got? We got competitive games and we can just get mad at people killing us all the time and all of that. But, yeah.
I think one game that we really got really engrossed in was Ghost Recon.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
Wildlands?
Yeah.
That
Wildlands.
was fun. That was a game that us three played and we got engrossed into. That was fun. They need to make more games like that. I know they have games like that,
Yeah.
but that game was fun. That was very fun because we get to talk together, plan how we're going to attack together, and then do. And it was a long
And
game.
I
It was a
don't listen to
very long
anything
game.
you all say.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh
Yeah,
my God,
you
this
beat
guy
the
used to
game.
make us so mad.
Yeah, you beat the game already.
We
So
we would
we're
be
not
all
even like
trying to
close to that.
strategically do something, and Mike would just run straight in and start killing people, and then die. He would like get knocked down, and we're like, I guess I'm gonna go save him, and then we would die, and he would just do it over and over again until we just got mad and gave up for the night. So annoying.
Yeah, but those are fun though. Those are fun games. And I remember back in the day in our band days, me and Mike and one of our other guitar players actually played Gears of War 2 a lot, and that was very very fun.
Yeah.
That was like there's one night when we played literally the whole night. We started at
A
8
lot, a
p.m.
lot.
It was a double time. It was a double point kind of night. We did all this stuff to level up to 100, and then all of a sudden the game wouldn't move. We're trying to progress, and we're like, "What's going on?" What happened was Mike fell asleep, and we're all yelling in a microphone like, "Mike, wake up! Mike, wake up!" And he fell asleep,
Of course he did.
and
I
we're
did.
talking like, "What are we gonna
Typical.
do?"
Sure did.
Yeah, I remember that. So that
Typical.
that was fun. And again,
Good old days.
yeah, Gears of War does it pretty good. They have a multiplayer aspect of it, and then they have a single player aspect of it. And the single player is pretty damn good, pretty great story. It's not as long, but it's still really good. So I guess that could be a point where if you have multiplayer, you don't really focus too much on it on your single player. But I hope they don't do that because the story is good, it's getting good. So I cannot wait to whenever they come out with Gears of War 6, which I think they're on now.
Gear
Yeah, Gears of
six.
War
Yeah.
6. Yeah, so hopefully it'll come out that. I know it's gonna be a Series X exclusive.
Of
All
course
right,
it will.
of course it will. All right, last one. So we're gonna answer a viewer question, and this is the question is going to all of us. It is what is or was your favorite gaming magazine? I think it's pretty cool. It's a good question, and I
Yeah.
do have one in my mind. But I'm gonna go last because I have a good story to my favorite magazine. So who wants to go first with this one?
How about you, Mike? I have to
Mine's
remember the
quick.
name of this one.
Mine's quick.
Okay.
Oh, I remember.
So
it
I
now.
was always a GameStop junkie. I would always go in there.
Hmm.
I would visit Jose when he was working there and liked him with. And Game Informer was always on the shelves on there, and they always had the buy this, you get the code, and it's in here. Obviously, Game Informer was my one and only true magazine I ever had, and I ran that subscription for probably about 2 or 3 years.
Same.
It
Yeah.
was good. It was good content, and it
Hmm.
was great bathroom material. You put it right there on the back of the
Oh
toilet, and you
yeah,
just do your
Absolutely.
thing. So
and I do know that Game Informer, because they were part of GameStop, they had all the first news first.
Yeah.
If
They
you
they
want to
really
know
became the
something,
the go-to.
yes, it was actually
it was my
before IGN was,
favorite.
if it's anything, they had the news first. Like you would open a magazine, and we heard about the game on IGN, but they actually had a preview already. When you open a magazine, like, wait a minute,
Yeah,
like, this exists for real? So yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Game Informer was
exactly.
really cool. I really liked that a lot too. And also at the
They
end,
had they had great spreads, great
oh
content
yeah,
stuff.
and you would take the reviews to heart. You look at the review, and you're like, what? They gave it an 8, and it makes you mad. They're like, wait a minute, that game's better than an 8. Come on. Yeah,
Right.
they have some good stuff in magazine. They have really good they had a really good April Fools magazine too, where they kind of mixed everything together and made
Yeah.
some fake content and everything. That was funny. That was great. All right,
So
Patrick.
yeah,
You, Patrick.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember a couple of them because I
Mhm.
coincidentally I was just going through an old box of video game magazines today, and
Mhm.
I have magazines in there dating back to probably 1990, 91. They were talking
Oh my
about
God,
like
I would love to see those.
previews of Final Fantasy II coming out,
Oh man.
and I have like NES advertisements in there, like 8-bit games being advertised and
Mhm.
all of that. And I was trying to see what the name of the game was. I think it was Game Pro. Game Pro sounds really
Ah,
familiar.
Game Pro. Yeah,
Game
you're right.
Pro.
It's Game
Yeah.
Pro.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was the big one, and then Electronic Gaming Monthly was another big
Mhm.
one. That one was really deep, like in depth. It went into a lot of big stuff at the time. I remember there was like a Street Fighter 2 Turbo whatever edition
Mhm.
or Street Fighter 3, and it was it was so in depth. Yeah, I really love those magazines, and I ended up subscribing to Game Informer as well, of course, because of
Mhm.
what we were just talking about. It kind of became the preeminent video game magazine,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, that lasted for years. And I,
And
I
not that
still have a
GameStop
bunch of
pushing
them.
us throat.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring that out to you one of these days in the near future and let you look at some of those old gems in there. It'll just certain things in there. It's just like, oh my god, I can't believe that.
Oh
And
yeah.
I remember
Mhm.
looking at them and being like, man, that game looks so good.
Mhm.
And I look back at it now, I was like, wow, I've had emulators for that. I wanted it so
Mhm.
bad, and I couldn't get it back in the day. Yeah,
Well, we couldn't get anything back in the day. That's just how it was as kids. Trust
yeah,
me, when kids these days become our age, they'll be like, I didn't get it. I had an iPhone 8 when I was your age and stuff like that, and it'll be all
right.
different in times and
Right.
everything. My favorite magazine is actually Nintendo Power. Now, yes, I
Yeah,
am that
Nintendo Power as
old.
well.
I saw Nintendo Power had the best covers
Yeah,
Yes.
by far. Obviously, it's Nintendo, so at the time there wasn't really much of other systems.
no, back then that was
So
the
yeah,
system.
so I mean, yeah, they were Sega, they were TurboGrafx 16, but Nintendo was like the thing.
Yeah, that was
And
number
I don't know
one.
if you remember when you had a magazine, you took it to school and you showed off your magazine and everything. Like, oh my gosh, Super Mario Bros. 3 coming out or Super Mario Bros. 2 coming out. You see all those. The previews are awesome. I like that magazine was really cool too. Well, for me, because I remember in one issue I was actually in the magazine for one of the high scores. Actually, it wasn't a high score; it was beating a game. And it said if you beat a game
Oh.
or you get a high score, you send your high score with a picture. You got to take a picture. We're back into the Polaroid, right? And you had to go and send it to them. I send them the end screen of Super Mario 3 that I beat. And I remember my mom helped me, put it together. I sent it out. The next month, it was in there. It said Jose. It was said Jose, my last name, and it was awesome. I couldn't believe that my name was in a magazine with like thousands of other people in
Cool.
Right.
there, But I was in
That's
there.
awesome,
I mean,
man.
it looked like a phone book. It's like super. It said Super Mario 3, and then it had all these names and stuff like that. I look for it every month.
I'm one of the
Oh my
million
god!
people in here.
Oh, it was awesome.
But just seeing your
And then the
name in
pre.
print, yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, and I'm forever in Nintendo Power. That's the cool thing about it. And then the tips. I like going back to those magazines too to see how it was back in the day where you had to call a number. Like I remember
Yeah,
the
they
Nintendo
actually had a
hotline.
hotline.
Yeah, the tip line. It was like 1-900 number, and I remember I did call them for. I'm trying to remember what game it was. I think it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, not the arcade, but the really bad one. It's the first one. And I remember calling them to ask them how to beat this level. And the guy goes, "Hold on, let me look it up." And you can hear the pages in the background and everything. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he tells me, "Do this and do that." And I did that. But I remember when the phone bill came in, my mom was pissed. I mean, I didn't know how much it was, but I can
Well,
imagine it
you
was a
didn't have
lot.
any concept of that back then.
Yeah.
You were just like, oh, I
Yeah.
get tips for free.
Oh my god. But it was, yeah.
Oh
But
yeah,
Nintendo Power, it just had the most colorful, impactful covers. The the magazine itself was like well made, like it was thick.
yeah,
It had like the spine was thick, it just felt premium. Like when you got that from the mailman, it felt premium.
yeah,
That's what I like about that magazine. Not like now where everything feels cheap.
yeah.
It's
It's like a
it only has
pamphlet.
maybe, yeah, it might have 50 pages. That had like literally like 80 pages, and it was thick. And each story was, if it talked about Metroid or the Game Boy, it was just huge about that. I have a few. I have one that had Hulk Hogan in the front, and it was talking about WrestleMania games, which by the way sucked. But the way they advertised it in the magazine, you wanted it. You said,
Yeah,
"Oh my god, I
Of
need this game
course.
now."
yeah,
Like, when it comes out.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
but then when you got it, yeah. I mean, literally, I just read the magazine. And I was just looking back, and I was like, wow, like this magazine made any kid want this game like really bad.
Oh, it was great marketing back then.
Oh yeah. Um,
They knew
and
what they were
then
doing back then.
oh yeah, Game Pro is my other favorite, but Game Informer, yeah, I think just because I had my subscription was like 10 years, by the way. So
Yeah,
PS3, I think I had it for literally 10 years straight because I worked there, and after I left there, I still kind of still went back there, and it just kept going, kept coming to my house. So I guess I was doing something to renew it. And I do keep a lot of them. I have the one like the iconic one, the one that has like a halo on them, the one that advertised Uncharted for the first time.
right.
It was really cool. So games like that. So it's really cool to look back and just give you a lot of nostalgia. The good thing about going back to Nintendo games, it's seeing everything doesn't have an internet, you know, um, address anymore. Everything is
Right.
mail in 250 to this, and you get that, or has one little advertisement that says Columbia House. I don't know if you guys know what that is,
Yeah.
or BMG,
Yeah.
where you order one CD for 1 penny and then you get like 15.
Yeah.
I got in trouble for that one,
The
man,
old
one time.
scam.
Me
Oh
too.
my god.
Me too.
Yep.
Big time.
I saw I was gonna get my 15 CDs, and I remember it was,
Yeah.
yep. And I was so excited because I got Nirvana, I got Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese, it was Smashing Siamese Dreams.
Yeah.
It was back in the day. Pearl Jam, I was so excited. And then they kept sending CDs to me. Oh, I got a CD. What they didn't tell you, they were charging for all those CDs, by the way. Don't do that. So I remember that my dad had a serious talk with me that time. He was like, "How much money you spend on these compact discs?"
Oh, we were really naive back then.
Oh man, it was exciting. But anyway, yeah, that's another stuff for another day. You know how it was back in the day. It was not easy like these kids can go on Spotify or YouTube to get music. We had to go and actually get it,
Yeah. And get in trouble.
or
Buy the disc.
yep, get either get it, or you had to. Hopefully, they play on your favorite radio station and record it.
Yeah. Set your tape and just be like, oh, they're playing the song and get it halfway into the
Oh my
intro.
gosh.
You know how many sleepless nights it took me to get some music into my in my cool ass boombox I had.
A little
Just
mixtape.
record it.
Yeah.
I had my mixtape, and I still have some of those. And I actually listened to it a couple weeks ago, and it's cool. You had like DJs coming in and like this song, and like, oh, stop, and then you hear Vanilla Ice all of a sudden, doo, 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 and like I was into all music, guys. Okay, don't hate. I like
Everyone's
I
in
was
Vanilla Ice back
Don't
then.
yeah.
judge. Don't judge.
I had to really
It was the
dig.
hip thing with the kids.
I had to dig really deep for those songs to get those. So yeah, it's easy now. It's just it's crazy
Yeah.
how so easy to get that stuff too now these days. All right, so we are going to end this episode with our information. So everybody, let's go ahead and give our information. So for me, if you want to contact me on Instagram, just look me up on that old school gamer dude, And from there, you can actually follow me, and you can see my awesome collection in all things. I love action figures. I love video games. I love retro gaming. I love everything. So please follow me there. And if you want to game with me, all platforms, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox, is Damage JJP. So Damage JJP. Add me as a friend. Send me a friend request. Let's go play some games.
Absolutely.
Patrick.
And you can find me on PlayStation Network under The Real Gray Man, Grey, The Real Gray Man. I am under Zeta Muerte on Instagram and Game Pass for PC specifically. And I'm Zeta9966 on Steam. So I have a few a few gamer handles. All of them are kind of similar, but that's where you can find me. And then we go to this guy.
Michael.
Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, and 7 Viking Warrior. That's it.
In
Let's do this
7
thing.
Viking Warrior.
Oh, and I forgot to add Steam. Damage JJP.
He's just Damage
Everything in
JJP on
Damage
everything.
JJP.
Yeah.
Everything in Damage JJP. So
Must be nice.
come play with us. Yes, and we're still working on this, guys. We're still working. We're new to all this. So be nice and help us out. Please follow us, subscribe to us. I know this will be on YouTube soon, so please subscribe to us to see more content. We are working on doing some videos, some play videos. It's hard for it to get some time, but when we get some time, we want to do some videos, and we want everybody to come play with us if you can. So if we do a live stream of playing games, that we can do some multiplayer. We talk about multiplayer here. That we don't want to play them, but then we want to play with everybody else because sometimes playing a little Rocket League or playing a little what's the other game you can play like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to play Rocket League with some people. I love Rocket League.
Rocket League is fun. Going back to this whole tangent about multiplayer,
sorry.
Rocket League is fun. Though. Rocket League is very fun. I'll admit that one.
Absolutely.
That was cool. Yeah, but you know why? Because it's sports.
Yeah, sports.
Sports. I think it's cool like that too as well. It's never fun playing Madden by
unique.
yourself. You know what I mean? It's never fun playing Madden by yourself. It's always fun playing Madden with somebody else.
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
All right, everyone. So, thank you so much for joining us on this episode number 10, and we'll see you on episode number 11. Have a good night.
Have a good one,
guys.